Hey everyone, Darius here. So, have you ever felt like you were being played, like someone was pulling your strings to get you to do something you didn't really want to do? We've all been there. It's called manipulation, and it's more common than you might think. Today, we're diving deep into the world of manipulation, exploring the different types, the tactics used, and how to spot them. Because knowledge is power, and understanding manipulation is the first step towards protecting yourself and making sure you're calling the shots in your own life. Welcome to our episode dedicated to manipulation. Today, we will explore the different types of manipulation that can influence our daily lives. We'll discuss emotional, cognitive, social manipulation and marketing, as well as the difference between positive and negative manipulation. Let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the one that probably hits closest to home: emotional manipulation. This is the kind of manipulation that really messes with your head, because it plays on your emotions, your insecurities, your fears, and your desire to be loved and accepted. It's like someone's hijacked your heart and is using it to steer you in the direction they want. One of the classic signs of emotional manipulation is guilt tripping. You know, when someone makes you feel bad for not doing what they want, even if it's something you have every right to say no to. They might say things like, "If you really cared about me, you would," or "I'm so disappointed in you for..." It's a way of making you feel responsible for their emotions, even when those emotions are being used as a weapon. Then there's intimidation, which is basically emotional bullying. This can involve yelling, threats, or even more subtle forms of aggression, like giving you the silent treatment or making snide remarks. The goal here is to make you feel scared or small so that you'll give in to their demands just to avoid the conflict. And then, of course, there's emotional abuse, which is the most extreme and damaging form of emotional manipulation. This is when someone consistently uses manipulation tactics to control and demean you, eroding your self-esteem and making you feel trapped in the relationship. It's important to remember that emotional abuse is never okay, and if you're experiencing it, please reach out for help. There are resources available to support you. Emotional manipulation can be really insidious because it often comes from people we care about, family members, friends, romantic partners. And because it's rooted in emotions, it can be hard to recognize and even harder to confront. But here's the thing, you deserve to have relationships where you feel safe, respected, and heard. You don't have to tolerate being manipulated, and you have the right to set boundaries and walk away from relationships that are toxic. If emotional manipulation is about hijacking your heart, then cognitive manipulation is all about messing with your mind. It's about distorting information, planting seeds of doubt, and ultimately getting you to question your own sanity. It's like someone's infiltrated your brain and is rearranging the furniture to suit their own agenda. One of the most common tactics in cognitive manipulation is gaslighting. This is where someone tries to make you doubt your own memories and perceptions of reality. They might deny things that you know happened, insist that you're imagining things, or even try to convince you that you're going crazy. Another tactic is called framing, which is all about how information is presented. By selectively choosing what information to share, or by presenting it in a biased way, manipulators can influence how you interpret events and form opinions. It's like they're building a narrative and they're carefully choosing the details that fit their story, even if it means omitting crucial information or twisting the truth. Then there's the foot in the door technique, which is a more subtle form of cognitive manipulation. This is when someone starts by asking for something small, something you're likely to agree to. But once you've said yes to that small request, they gradually increase their demands, asking for more and more until you find yourself in a situation you never would have agreed to initially. Cognitive manipulation can be really difficult to spot because it often operates on a subconscious level. We're constantly bombarded with information, and it's easy to fall prey to manipulative tactics without even realizing it. But by being aware of these tactics, you can start to question the information you're receiving and look for signs of bias or manipulation. Don't be afraid to trust your gut, to seek out different perspectives, and to challenge information that doesn't feel right. Chapter 3: Social Manipulation: The Pressure to Conform. Manipulation can happen on a much larger scale within groups, communities, and even entire societies. Social manipulation uses group dynamics, social norms, and the fear of being ostracized to influence our behavior. Peer pressure is a powerful tool of social manipulation. We all want to fit in, sometimes going along with the crowd against our better judgment. This can manifest in subtle ways like changing our clothes or language to fit in, or in more extreme ways like engaging in risky behavior or adopting beliefs we don't truly hold. The bandwagon effect is the tendency to do something because everyone else is doing it. This is often exploited in marketing and advertising to create a sense of urgency or FOMO. True belonging comes from being true to ourselves, not from conforming to external pressures. Don't be afraid to stand out, question the status quo, and forge your own path. Chapter 4. Manipulation in Marketing, the Art of Persuasion. Okay, let's talk about manipulation in the marketplace. Because let's face it, marketing and advertising are all about persuasion, about convincing us to buy things we may not need or even want. But while some marketing techniques are relatively harmless, others can be downright manipulative, playing on our insecurities, exploiting our emotions, and even creating a sense of false need. One of the most common tactics is using aspirational imagery and messaging. Advertisers know that we're drawn to images of success, beauty, and happiness, so they bombard us with pictures of perfect-looking people living seemingly perfect lives, all thanks to their product, of course. This creates a sense of inadequacy, a feeling that we need to buy this product in order to achieve that level of happiness and fulfillment. Then there's the use of scarcity and urgency. Limited time offers, flash sales, and the ever-present while supplies last message are all designed to create a sense of urgency, a feeling that we need to act now before it's too late. This taps into our fear of missing out and can lead us to make impulsive purchases that we later regret. Another tactic is emotional branding, which is all about creating an emotional connection with the consumer. Instead of just selling a product, brands try to sell us a feeling, an idea, a lifestyle. They might use heartwarming stories, nostalgic imagery, or social justice messaging to appeal to our values and emotions, making us feel good about supporting their brand. And then there's the use of influencers, which we touched on earlier. By partnering with popular social media personalities, brands can tap into their audience's trust and loyalty, effectively getting their products endorsed by someone their followers admire and trust. The key to navigating the manipulative world of marketing is to be an informed consumer. Do your research, compare prices, read reviews, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Remember that you're in control of your spending, and you don't have to buy into the hype. Chapter 5. Positive Manipulation. Influence for Good. So far, we've been talking about manipulation in a negative light and for good reason. Manipulation, at its core, is about using unethical tactics to control and exploit others. But is all manipulation inherently bad? Can there be such a thing as positive manipulation? The answer, surprisingly, is yes. Manipulation, in its most basic form, is simply about influence. And influence can be used for good or for evil. When used ethically, manipulation techniques can be powerful tools for motivation, persuasion, and even personal growth. Think about a therapist who uses their understanding of human psychology to help a patient overcome their fears, or a teacher who uses creative teaching methods to engage their students and foster a love of learning. These are both examples of positive manipulation, using influence techniques to empower and uplift others. One of the key differences between positive and negative manipulation lies in intention. Positive manipulation is driven by a genuine desire to help others, while negative manipulation is motivated by self-interest and a desire for control. Another important distinction is transparency. Positive manipulation is often done openly and honestly with the other person's knowledge and consent. In contrast, negative manipulation thrives on secrecy and deception, so while manipulation can certainly be a force for evil, it can also be a force for good. It all comes down to how it's used and the intentions behind it. Outro: stay aware, stay critical. So there you have it. A crash course in the world of manipulation. We've covered a lot of ground, from the emotional manipulation that can poison our relationships to the marketing tactics that try to empty our wallets. But the most important takeaway is this: knowledge is power. By understanding the different types of manipulation, the tactics used, and the psychology behind them, you can become a more discerning judge of information, a more confident decision maker, and ultimately, a freer individual. Remember, you have the power to say no, to set boundaries, and to walk away from situations that don't feel right. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. By understanding the various types of manipulation and recognizing both the positive and negative aspects, you can empower yourself to make more informed decisions. Awareness is the first step towards protecting yourself and fostering healthier relationships. Thank you for joining us in this discussion. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time, stay aware and critical.